Number 1. Police union executive arrested for distributing opioids. The recent arrest of San Jose Police Union Director Joanne Segovia on charges of drug trafficking
The San Jose Police Union executive arrested for trafficking drugs
has shocked the whole country.
Serial killer.
It's crazy.
Totally stunned.
Segovia has been accused of importing and distributing thousands of opioid pills throughout the country. In other words, she's accused of being a countrywide drug dealer. The criminal complaint was filed against her on March 27, 2023 by the Office of the United States Attorney, which alleges that Segovia used her personal and office computer to order thousands of pills to her home from India, Hungary, Hong Kong, and many other countries. The complaint also alleges that Segovia has been importing drugs for more than 7 years, all the way back from October 2015 to January 2023. The 65-year-old suspect was charged as a result of an ongoing investigation into a network of controlled substances shipments. The investigation was conducted by the federal authorities. Segovia's activities came to Homeland Security agents' attention after they searched a network operative's phone, where they found messages linked to Segovia and her San Jose address. Further investigation into the matter revealed that between those 7 years, Segovia had received around 61 shipments from countries all over the world. Well, Segovia wasn't playing around. The drug shipments that she received were labeled as gift makeup and wedding party favors to avoid any kind of suspicion. But even after being investigated by the federal agents, she didn't give up her operations. According to the complaint, federal agents seized a parcel on March 13, 2023, which contained controlled substances but was labeled as a clock. The parcel originated in China on March 10th. The discovery of the parcel made the investigators even more careful and showed the possibility that the scope of Segovia's operations might have been wider than they previously thought. Segovia also took full advantage of WhatsApp's encrypted messages policy to order the shipments. Her phone search revealed that she had been talking to someone with an India country code for more than 3 years. The conversations included information about the number of drug pills to be shipped and the value of those shipments. According to the complaint filed against Segovia, each shipment's value was thousands of dollars. When presented in court, Segovia denied the accusations and put the blame on her housekeeper. I was just absolutely taken aback, shocked, and saddened, Sean Pritchard, president of the San Jose Police Officers Association, said, and as the days have gone by, I'm at a place where I'm angry now. Segovia's case has not only shocked the San Jose citizens, but the residents throughout the United States, as her operations were going throughout the country. Although the primary suspect, for now, is Segovia, many have begun to question whether there were any other officers sitting in prestigious positions involved. Regardless of what comes out as a result of Segovia's case, one thing is clear: she is not the first, and she will not be the last person to betray the U.S. citizens' trust. What can common people do when the very people who are assigned to stop illegal activities turn out to be rogue? Although Segovia's case is still pending, an NYPD officer, Yesenia Jimenez, was found guilty of planning to distribute heroin and cocaine and was sentenced to years in prison. Number 2. NYPD officer arrested for trafficking drugs along with her boyfriend. In 2019, after the DEA initiated an investigation into a large-scale narcotics trafficking operation that brought heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine across the border from Mexico into the United States, they discovered an NYPD officer named Yesenia Jimenez was part of the drug trafficking. As it was, Jimenez used her apartment in New York to store heroin and cocaine that were being brought by drug traffickers from Mexico. She would store multiple kilograms of drugs at her apartment and then help distribute them throughout the city. The investigation revealed that Jimenez had been involved in the trafficking since 2017. It also revealed that she wasn't the only one operating from her apartment. Her 31-year-old boyfriend, Luis Soto, also helped Jimenez in distributing drugs. Their arrest was as dramatic as their operation. After the couple returned from a trip to Massachusetts to meet a heroin trafficker, they found NYPD and DEA officers waiting for them outside their apartment. Even at the time of the arrest, Jimenez had $25,000 stacked inside her purse, along with her NYPD-issued 9mm Glock. Jimenez was arrested on the charges of drug trafficking and misconduct, along with her boyfriend. After their arrest, DEA discovered 4 other persons who were assisting the rogue officer in drug trafficking. During a search of the couple's apartment, police discovered thousands of dollars and 250 grams of cocaine and fentanyl. Although Jimenez's boyfriend and her other crime partners pleaded guilty to the charges, she decided to drag her case in the hope to save herself. But given the overwhelming evidence against her, Jimenez couldn't fight it any longer. She was eventually convicted of conspiring to distribute heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine, possession of heroin and fentanyl, and using a firearm in furtherance of drug trafficking. Following her conviction, Jimenez was also suspended from her department without pay. She took an oath to serve and protect and used her NYPD service service firearm to carry out her drug dealing, U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman said. Simply put, Jimenez was a drug dealer in a cop's uniform. Thankfully, she now stands convicted and faces at least 15 years in prison. Jimenez's conviction shifted the DEA's focus on more NYPD officers and on the possibility that some of her crime partners might have succeeded in escaping the hammer of justice. It also caused people to ask for strict scrutiny of people who are given qualified immunity just because of their profession, a principle that hasn't been shown much respect and which has been violated by law enforcement officers now and again. If Jimenez's story has shocked you, wait till you see the next drug dealer, Ashley Roan, disguised as a police officer. Number 3, Baltimore female officer involved in a drug deal. A shocking incident rocked the Baltimore Police Department in May 2013 after a police officer named Ashley Roan was arrested and accused of drug trafficking while on duty. She became the very thing that she was supposed to stand against. According to the criminal complaint filed, Ashley Roan arranged to stand watch while an informant made a supposed drug deal in a West Baltimore shopping center. Roan was on duty, in uniform and armed, and watched the transaction from a marked police vehicle. The complaint alleged that she agreed to help a drug dealer find a safe place to sell heroin in Baltimore and provide early warnings before police executed search warrants. She also provided armed security for drug deals while in uniform in her patrol car and checked the police database to identify informants. When the news of Roan's arrest became public, people started asking for justice to be served. Just like any other person would have been punished, they asked the law to punish the corrupt officer. As it was, Roan wasn't the only protector of drug dealers, but was herself one of them. The complaint also accused Roan of attempted possession with intent to distribute 1 kilogram or more of heroin and possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug trafficking crime. But that's not all. The list of her crimes goes on and on. Roan was also accused of being involved in an identity fraud scheme along with her roommate, Erica Hughes. They used a police database to obtain names, birth dates, and social security numbers that could be used to obtain fraudulent tax refunds from the IRS. However, they couldn't deceive the law for long, as both of them fell into a trap set by the FBI. Roan and Hughes provided the personal information of more than 30 individuals to a confidential source who they believed worked as a tax preparer. The joint Baltimore Police and FBI Anti-Corruption Task Force discovered and investigated the case, which proved to be helpful in finding the black sheep within the Baltimore Police Department. Roan and Hughes were arrested on charges of aggravated identity theft in connection with the identity theft scheme. In addition to her identity theft charges, Roan was also charged with possession with intent to distribute heroin. Although Hughes pleaded guilty to the charges and was sentenced to 2 years in prison, her crime partner kept fighting for a way out. Eventually, Roan was convicted and sentenced to 5 years in prison. Giving his remarks about the corrupt cop, Police Commissioner Anthony Batts said that they will continue to relentlessly target corruption and misconduct among the ranks. Ashley Roan sold her police powers for a few $1,000s in a disgraceful violation of the public trust, U.S. Attorney Rod Rosenstein said. Although Roan and her crime partner were arrested and punished, the Baltimore citizens are still asking the authorities how many more police officers are engaged in criminal activities. Well, nobody can blame them for their curiosity, given the wide range of crimes the Baltimore PD officers had been involved in. Whether it was Wayne Jenkins' corrupt cops team, Maurice Ward's infamous drug deal, or Roan's identity thefts, the cost has always been paid by the Baltimore citizens. I hope that they get the justice they deserve. If you want to keep exposing these corrupt cops, please subscribe to the channel.